Jim Starkweather, the publisher of Kitmaker Network and Armorama.com, and welcome to another episode of Turning the Page. Today I have for you a saga. The saga of the book that almost didn't get reviewed. This book was sent to us quite some time ago, but it kind of got lost in the mail, I guess. Well, it didn't get lost in the mail, but it got lost in various areas, and it's finally gotten to me. And so we're going to cover it on this issue, or this video. This is the Nuts and Bolts series. If you're familiar with these books, they are very, very detailed reference books on very specific vehicles and variants, really. Not like a broad range, but like a specific one. And this one is on the, my terrible German, but the leichte Feldhaubitze 18 GW2 Furley FH18/1 Wespe. Of course, the Wespe is the common name known by, and the Hummel and Hummel-Wespe. So now it's not the typical Hummel, so I'm guessing it's more of the Hummel-Wespe variant. But anyway, so this book is originally the series was started by Heiner F. Dusk, Tony Greenland, and Detlev Turleson. This particular book is, I believe, sourced by or authored by J. Batchen, M. Block, and H. Tipman. So again, the way these are formatted, there's some color photos here. Actually, some model work done by Tony Greenland in LE FH18. This book, by the way, is softcover, and it is 185 pages, including the back cover. The table of contents, actually, do these have a table of contents? I'm not sure they do. Yeah, there's no table of contents, which is fine, because, you're going to read through the whole thing anyways if you buy a book like this. So the beginning section, the other important thing to note with these is the text is both in English on this side and in German on this side. So if you're an English-German speaker, you're covered, or if you speak one of the languages, you're also covered. But obviously for the people who speak German but also English, they can kind of go back and forth, or vice versa. People who speak English and then German, they can kind of check what do they mean by this? Okay, well, yeah, that makes more sense in that language. And as far as I'm aware, of the translations on these are very good. Sometimes you get into books that have been translated from another foreign language, and the translations are kind of iffy. I've read these before, and they definitely are very, very easily read, so that's always a plus. A lot of text, obviously, a lot of tables, like this one showing the ammunition sizes and weights and types of shells, or actually what type they're going to be used against. Exercise shell against tanks, fog, various things like that. And then again, lots more tables of data and things like that. This one is technical data, length of grooved part, number of grooves, traverse, elevation, barrel weight, muzzle velocity. So a lot of detail and information in these books. That's why they are nuts and bolts. They're down to all the little small details, aptly named. A little bit of a diagram there of the tank, the SPG and its layout. And so yeah, then they even show you like company kind of groupings, like how many of the vehicles they would have in this scenario. They have 6 Wespes. Vesps, excuse me. I know. I see. It's just not in my brain to do the WV thing. Maybe I usually say Volkswagen. Have said for years. But I don't say Volkswagen, so yeah, I just can't do it. I learned these when I was like 8 years old, not 8 years old. I guess I learned these around when I was 10 to 12 years old. The names of these. So yeah, a 10-year-old, 12-year-old brain doesn't think Vesp. Yes, I know how to say it in German. So it's kind of like what you know. If you start modeling and you're like, you read this and then you know that it's Anyways. So yeah, just again a lot of detail here until it gets up to the point where all the text is kind of a lot of text. All the text is ended, and then we get into obviously reference photos. So then the middle section here is reference photos and various types of things. We start with the actual gun here in a lot of these. The gun and where it was used, and at what point it became mobile and turned into a SPG. So then we have the gun in use in a mobile environment, and somewhat different variants and kind of scenarios, lots of photos in these, lots of captions. So like, again, the captions are in both German and English. Here the name Prague was applied on the right side of the armor, no other markings, neither signs nor Blackenkreuz were applied. Blackenkreuz? Blackenkreuz. Anyways, so I can kind of fake German if I have to. And then some line diagrams here of some side profiles as well as angle profiles of the cannon. So interesting that they're showing that kind of, prior to being in the, I guess that's the best way to show it. And then some, again, line drawings there, and some camouflage drawings or camouflage illustrations here, showing different camo patterns of different actual vehicles. So this is the photo, and then they're showing you the illustrated version of it. Lots of detail shots here of actual modern reference photos of museum vehicles and such. And then at the very end, we get into, usually, if they have it, then we can get into a Tony Greenland's Wespe modeling shot. So we have an article here by Tony Greenland of one of his projects of this vehicle, and going through to completion with lots of photos and so forth at the end. So, even though the books are very formulaic in terms of these types of layouts and so forth, I think that's obviously a benefit when you're dealing with reference books, because you kind of know what you're going to expect. And people know that they can expect a lot of detailed information in a nuts and bolts book. I'd like to apologize to the publisher for taking so long to finally get this review. This book was published, just to give you an idea, in 2014. So yeah, it has taken us a while to get this one. But we got it. We're covered. And if anybody would like to do a written review on this book, I will make it available as kind of a special scenario thing. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know. Publisher at kitmaker.net. You can write me for any informational requests and things like that. And of course, if you have any comments, suggestions, questions, please leave them below in our comments section. And if you, whether you're on YouTube or our website, you can click the like button if you like this video. And we will see you next time on Turning the Page.